Most people believe tax havens exist somewhere far away, hidden on tropical islands like the Cayman Islands or Switzerland. Places where the ultra-rich quietly move their money to avoid taxes and stay invisible. But what if that idea is outdated? What if one of the most powerful and effective tax havens in the world is not offshore at all, but sitting right in the middle of the global financial system? The truth is, the United States itself has quietly become one of the most attractive destinations for hidden wealth. This might sound surprising at first. After all, the United States has spent decades positioning itself as a global leader in fighting financial crime, tax evasion, and corruption. It has pressured banks around the world to disclose information about American account holders. It has forced foreign governments to comply with strict financial transparency rules. But behind this strong public stance lies a different reality, one that is rarely discussed in mainstream conversations. To understand this, you first need to understand what a tax haven really is. A tax haven is not just a place where taxes are low. It is a system designed to attract money by offering three key things: minimal taxation, financial secrecy, and easy company formation. In simple terms, it is a place where money can enter quietly, stay protected, and often avoid being taxed heavily. And in many ways, parts of the United States offer exactly that. The reason this is possible has a lot to do with how the United States is structured. Unlike many countries, where laws are centralized, the U.S. allows individual states to create their own corporate regulations. This creates competition between states, each trying to attract more businesses and more money. Over time, some states realize that by offering lower taxes, fewer disclosure requirements, and stronger privacy protections, they could attract not just businesses, but global wealth. This is where the story becomes more interesting. Imagine someone living outside the United States, maybe a wealthy businessman, a politician, or even someone who simply wants to move money out of their home country. They don't need to physically come to America. They don't need to start a real business. All they need is access to a simple legal process that allows them to create a company. Through online services or law firms, they can register a company in a U.S. state within hours. The process is fast, cheap, and incredibly efficient. In many cases, they are not required to publicly disclose their identity as the real owner of that company. Instead, they can use intermediaries or registered agents who appear on official documents. This means that on paper, the company exists, it is fully legal, but the true owner remains hidden. Once that company is created, it can do many things. It can open bank accounts, receive money, hold assets, and even invest in other businesses. The money that flows into this company becomes part of the U.S. financial system. It gains stability, legal protection, and access to one of the most secure economies in the world. And depending on how the structure is set up, the tax burden on that money can be significantly reduced. This is not some underground illegal trick. In many cases, it is completely legal. That is what makes it so powerful. It is not about breaking the law, it is about using the law in a very strategic way. This is known as tax avoidance, and it operates within legal boundaries. Unlike tax evasion, which involves hiding income or committing fraud, tax avoidance uses existing rules to minimize tax obligations. Now, you might wonder why the United States allows this to happen. The answer lies in incentives. The U.S. benefits when money flows into its system. More capital means more investment opportunities, stronger financial markets, and increased global influence. By making it easy for foreign wealth to enter, the United States strengthens its position as the center of global finance. There is also an element of competition involved. For decades, offshore tax havens like the Cayman Islands attracted massive amounts of global wealth. Instead of trying to eliminate these systems completely, parts of the United States effectively created a domestic alternative. One that offers similar benefits, but with the added trust and stability of the U.S. economy. This creates a powerful dynamic. On one side, the United States pushes for transparency across the world. It demands that other countries share financial information, report suspicious accounts, and crack down on hidden wealth. On the other side, it provides an environment where non-U.S. individuals can move money into certain structures with limited disclosure. This imbalance has been described by many experts as a double standard. The impact of this system goes far beyond wealthy individuals. It affects entire economies. When money leaves developing countries and moves into more secure jurisdictions, those countries lose valuable tax revenue. Governments have less funding for infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Economic growth slows down, and inequality increases. At the same time, within the United States and other developed nations, the burden of taxation often shifts. While wealthy individuals and large corporations find ways to reduce their tax obligations, middle-class citizens typically pay their full share. This widens the gap between rich and poor, creating long-term social and economic challenges. Another important aspect of this system is the concept of shell companies. These are companies that exist mostly on paper, without significant physical operations. They are not necessarily illegal, but they can be used in ways that make financial tracking extremely difficult. A shell company can own assets, move money across borders, and interact with other businesses, all while keeping the true owner out of public view. In the United States, certain states have become particularly known for enabling this kind of structure. They offer business-friendly environments, low or zero state taxes in specific situations, and strong legal protections for company owners. These features make them highly attractive not just for entrepreneurs, but also for individuals looking to manage wealth discreetly. The system works because it is simple, efficient, and protected by law. A person does not need to be an expert in finance to use it. With the help of professionals, the entire process can be handled remotely. Within a short period of time, they can have a fully functional company operating within the U.S. legal framework. What makes this even more interesting is that the money entering the United States through these channels is not always taxed in the same way as domestic income. In some cases, foreign-owned entities that do not conduct business within the U.S. may not be subject to certain types of taxes. This creates additional incentives for international investors. At this point, it becomes clear that the idea of the United States as purely a regulator of global finance is incomplete. It is also a participant in the system. It provides opportunities, structures, and legal pathways that make it one of the most attractive destinations for global capital. But this also raises serious questions. Is the system fair? Should there be more transparency? And what happens if more countries start adopting similar strategies? The answers to these questions are complex, and they are becoming increasingly important in a world where financial flows are more global than ever before. What we do know is this: the concept of a tax haven is no longer limited to small island nations. It has evolved, and in many ways it has moved into the heart of the global economy. The United States, with its unique legal structure and economic power, has become a central player in this transformation. And this is only the beginning of the story.